Morning everybody, my name is Emma and I'm guiding you through your yoga practice today. Thank you so much to everybody who joined me last Tuesday, and for those people who gave comments and things, it was really appreciated. Thank you. If it's your first time joining me, welcome. And we're doing this Zen challenge every day and I'm guiding you through Tuesday's practice. So I need you to get a few things actually. I was going to say you don't need anything, but you do. If you've got them. If you haven't got them, it really doesn't matter. So if you have some kind of ball, like a tennis ball, I've got this is called a roll and release ball, but just any kind of ball, dog ball, whatever. And then if you have a yoga block, that would be really useful today. You don't need it, it's not essential, but if you have got one, that's great. Chances are you don't have one, so maybe you've got a suitable book, so I apologise to all English teachers in advance, but obviously there's lots of good things to use this for, but it also works as a bit of a yoga block. It's very, very similar if you look. So maybe go and grab those now if you can, and like I say, if you can't, really don't worry about it. So lots has been going on, kind of lots, kind of nothing at the same time. Just like last week, I like to start my classes with a check-in. That's simply where we stop and we just think. If I was going actually in person to a yoga class and someone said to me, how do you feel? What would you reply? What would you say? So I'm checking in today feeling a little bit stressed. I'm feeling a bit stressed because I've been trying to configure some kind of space inside that works to film. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. It's not going to be perfect. If I do this in one take, it will be a miracle. I have a lot of people I'm sharing space with at the moment, and I think the main thing is we're just all trying our best, and sometimes we're succeeding and sometimes we're not doing as well as we could do. And we're learning all the time about how to spend so much time together. That might be something you can relate to. Suddenly your space has to be lots of different things, like a workspace, a yoga space, a space for you, all different things. So I think that's the main thing I'm checking in feeling today. So I just want you to pause and think, how are you doing? How are you feeling? What things are you coping well with, and what things maybe are you struggling a bit with? And remember, it's perfectly fine to have the wins, the things that you're winning at, and the things that you're struggling with as well. That's what makes us human, and we want to acknowledge both sides of how we feel. We're going to warm our different muscles in our upper body up. So you're going to drop your head all the way down, chin comes to chest. Allowing your eyes to gaze up through the neutral position, lifting your eyes all the way up, opening your throat here. That should feel quite nice. Dropping your chin all the way down to your chest. Feeling a stretch at the back of your neck. Bringing your eye gaze up, lifting your chin, opening this throat. Bring your head to a neutral position. You're going to look over one shoulder. Coming through a neutral position, looking all the way over to the other shoulder. Finding a nice neutral position, looking over to one shoulder. Again, coming through neutral, looking over the other shoulder. Perfect. You're going to bring attention into your shoulders. So make some really big circles here, bringing your shoulder blades together. My shoulders are creaking and cracking, that's fine. And then make sure you go the other way as well. So rotating all the way around the other way. Perfect, really nice. We're going to bring that idea of worry in then. So worry and tension, so not of the good kind. There's a difference. Sometimes it's good to have a bit of tension in your body, and other times we don't really want it. So I want you to think of all the worries, all the tension, all the things you're not liking about this situation, bringing your shoulders all the way up, feel into it, let yourself feel, exhale through the mouth, and release. Okay, and bringing your shoulders up, feel anything, feel it, and release. And one last time, tension, feel it, and release. bringing your arms out in front of you. You're going to flare your hands into 45 degrees, warming up our wrists here. We bend our little finger, ring finger, middle finger, first finger, thumb. Really feel tension here into your fists. Let your fists drop all the way down. I'm shaking slightly, are you? And then allow your wrists to come all the way up, opening thumb, first finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, and then flare your fingers all the way back towards you and just shake out. And do that one more time. So it's little finger, ring finger, middle finger, first finger, thumb. Find your wrists, shake a bit. Allow your wrists to drop all the way down, and then letting your wrists come all the way up, opening thumb, first finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger. Fingers flare towards you, so you're lessening the gap between your wrist and your fingers, and then just release. Okay, we're going to come over the top of our knees, so I'm going to come side onto you here, and we're going to come into our tabletop position. Okay, so your tabletop position, you want your hands to look like starfish underneath your shoulders. Okay, you want your knees to be about hip width apart, and your feet, your tops of your feet to be flat on the floor. And we're just going to tap here, just get rid of a little bit of energy. Okay, from here we're going to find our cat and our cow. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to push that pelvis backwards, our back arches, our shoulder blades come together, and we look up. We then allow our pelvis to tuck in. We bring our head in at the same time. Our tummy moves towards our vertebrae, and we look towards our belly button, pushing in through those hands. We then are going to go the other way, so your tailbone comes back, your head starts to move forward, you arch your back, you look up. And if it feels good now, you can close your eyes and do this movement. So pelvis tucks in, head drops down, belly button comes towards your vertebrae, push through your hands. In an exhale, coming one more time to your cow. And then inhale, coming to your cat. And now I want you to imagine that you are a pencil with an eraser on the top. So you know when you have to rub out when you make a mistake? I want you to be that eraser and allow your body to have free movement, okay? I want you to really feel into any worries you might have and just erase them out. Also listening to how your body wants to move today. So my ribs always want to move, okay? My elbows might want to move. They might want to move together. They might want to move differently at different times. My hips might want to move after that activation. There's no wrong, there's no right. You might want to come forward, take the weight into your hands. And then before coming back, finding a child's pose. So child's pose, you bring your hips all the way down to meet your heels. Your arms come in front of you, your forehead drops down. And this is your position to take whenever you want to take it. After finding that pause, you're going to rotate forward and come and find your tabletop position. Nice and strong. And we're going to test how strong you actually are in this position. So you're going to tuck your toes under, and you're going to hover your knees off the ground, okay? So you're just going to hover your knees off the ground so they're no longer on your mat or underneath you. And just see how strong you feel. Hopefully you feel really strong all around your torso. You're then going to drop your knees down. Untuck your toes. Okay, this time rather than a flexed foot, we're going to keep a pointed toe. So I'm going to invite you to hover your left knee off the floor. So your weight's going to go through your right knee. You're hovering your left knee off the floor. You're going to bring your left knee all the way towards your nose, and then you're going to try and keep everything else still. You're going to tilt your leg out to the side, a little bit like you're a dog going for a wee. You then are going to bring it back in, and then allow it to return to that hovered position. This time you're going to send your knee backwards. You're going to do the same thing, open out at the side, and then bring your knee back in before returning it to the neutral position, and then drop that knee down. Maybe take a little bit of a shake. You don't need to swap direction. I'm going to swap sides so I can do this with you, as I don't have enough room. Okay, from here then you're going to put the weight through your left knee, hover your right knee. You're going to bring your right knee in towards your nose. You're going to open out like that dog. Trying not to let anything else change. Bring your knee back in. Drop your knee so it's level with the other one. Then you're going to send your knee backwards. Open your knee at the side. Close your knee. And then send it back in again. And again, that's just building all this heat around this area. Okay, from there, you're back in your tabletop position. Okay, you're going to tuck your toes. Imagine someone's coming behind you. We're going to find our first downward dog. So you're tucking your toes, you're lifting your knees first, then sending your bottom up high, checking with your hands you want to be starfished. You want to drop your head down so your head is looking between your knees. Checking with your shoulders, there should be no tension. Bend your knees if you want, lift your hips. We play around in this position. You're going to walk your dog, so send one heel down, one heel up. Send the other heel down, other heel lifts. It should feel really nice in the back of your calves here. Sending one down, one up. Sending one down, one up. Then just find a nice static downward dog here. From there, you're going to walk your feet forward. So you're just going to tiptoe your feet forward. You might want to come up on your fingertips so that you've got enough space. And just allow your head to drop down. Maybe allow your knees to bend so that your chest can come and just hover here. No tension. Maybe shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Any worries, just dropping out. You're going to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. So engage the legs slightly. Feel into this bottom part of your vertebrae first. And just draw up from the bottom all the way up like a zip. Being zipped up. Before coming to find your mountain pose. So mountain pose is where your feet are flat on the floor. You want to turn your palms forward. And just spend a minute really feeling into your feet here. Now if you've got a tennis ball, if you went and got one earlier, you're just going to use this tennis ball and just really feel into your feet. Okay, so we obviously, our feet hits the ground all the time, but sometimes we don't feel into our feet. It's a really nice way of giving ourselves a bit of a foot massage, or even your toes, feeling into the arches of your feet, the outside, and just swapping over, just really feeling. If you feel like that was a bit knotty underneath, that's fine. It's a really good thing to do every day if you can. And it's dead simple. You can also use it in other parts of your body as well. Okay, and just pop that to one side, you don't need it. Okay, so we're going to do a few half sun salutations. I'm a little bit short here, so hope you can see my hands. You're going to inhale your arms all the way up. Your palms meet at the top. You exhale and you come all the way forwards. You inhale, halfway lift, so you look towards the horizon. You exhale your hands down. You inhale your arms up high and wide. And you exhale your hands to heart center. So I'm going to come side on so you can see. We're going to grab our block here again. So if you've got one, if you haven't got one, you don't need to worry. That block is going to go in between your legs. And what it does is you push towards it, which switches your legs on. Okay, you're going to have your hands on your hips. And you're going to feel through both feet. Okay, we're going to bend our knees slightly. You're going to send your hip bone backwards. So your hips go backwards first, and then you engage your hamstrings. You feel them kicking about here. Your back stays nice and straight. And then you come all the way back up again. Okay, so you tilt your pelvis, sending your bottom all the way back, and then your head is coming forward, flat back, Engage your legs, and then coming all the way back up again. And that's the feeling you want when you do your half sun salutation. So you're going to inhale your arms up above your head. I'm sorry, my curtain's in the way there. Exhale, fold forward at the hips, you're that same movement. And then just drop yourself all the way down. Inhale, your hands are going to come to your shins or to your knees, wherever's good for you, but your back wants to be flat. And it's like you're looking towards an imaginary horizon. Exhale, dropping yourself down. Inhaling your arms up high and wide. Exhaling, your hands come to heart center. Okay, we're going to move and add some movement on. Okay, so inhale your arms all the way up. Exhale, fold forward at the hips. Same, engage those muscles. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, drop down. Now this time your hands find the floor either side or just in front of your feet. Find your palms on the floor. You're going to step back your left foot followed by your right foot. So left foot goes back, right foot goes back, and we're in a high plank position here. Push your heels towards the back of the room. Check in with your hands like starfish. Now if at any point your plank feels too much, just drop your knees down here, okay? So if you can stay in your high plank, perfect. From there we're going to drop down our knees. We're then going to keep our elbows in and we're going to lower down to our belly. So our chin and our chest come down. From there, just untuck your toes, push your toes down into the floor, push your pelvis into the floor, and just inhale. We're going to do a tiny little lift here, and maybe just check in with your hands. Can you lift them up? Hands come down, tuck your toes. You're going to come through bent knee position, so to here, before lifting up to find your downward facing dog. Drop your head down, check in with your shoulders. From there, you're just going to step your right foot forward, so right foot comes forward, left foot comes forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, dropping your head down. Inhaling your arms up and wide. I've got one hand that works and one hand doesn't have to come to the front. Exhale, hands come forward, meet at heart center. Perfect. Okay, we're going to add on. So inhaling your arms up high and wide. I have to just adapt that slightly. Exhale, coming forward at the hips. Inhaling, halfway lift. Hands come down, stepping back, 1, 2, doesn't matter which leg leads. Okay, from here you can either do knees, chest, chin, or you can lower down in 1. So you can lower down in 1. Okay, from there push your feet down, push your pelvis down. You can do baby cobra, which is here, or if you're feeling strong, make sure your elbows are tucked in. You can carry on coming up, 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 and lift into your upward facing dog. Tucking your toes, coming to your downward facing dog. And just take a breath here. Just stop. Okay, you're going to lift your right foot up and high in the air. You're going to step that same right foot forward through and forward. So you're reaching your foot in between your hands. If you need to help it, that's fine. Engage your legs. It's a bit like you're starting a race here. And then you're going to carry on coming up. But before you do that, you're going to twist your back foot to 45 degrees. So just glance back at it. It should be 45. Okay, engage your legs and then come all the way up to what we call warrior 1 position. Okay, now in warrior 1, you should have a nice bent front knee. Your knee should be tracking over your toes. My toes are all clenched, so I'm just going to release them a bit. Your shoulders don't want to be up by your ears. Your shoulders want to be down. I want you to imagine just at the bottom of your ribs, so the bottom of your sternum, you've got this bright yellow light, and that bright yellow light is just shining forward in your warrior spirit. Perfect. Okay, from here, you're just going to activate your legs. So you're coming into a bit more of a high lunge. So I don't know if you noticed what I did then. My 45 degree, I just twisted on my back foot and dropped a little bit. From here, I want you to bring your arms down like fists, and you're going to engage, step forward into your front foot and just bring your knee up in front of you. Ooh, and then step back again. So we're working on our balance here. Okay, so stepping up and hold. We're going to do that one more time. Stepping up and hold. That was better from me, so maybe it takes a few attempts to get it right. Stepping back down, finding your warrior three. So my foot has gone to that angle again. Inhale your arms up. You're going to drop your hands all the way down. You're going to step that front foot to meet your back foot, find your high plank. From here you can drop knees, remember? You can drop chin and chest, or just lower down in one. Engage your legs. You can find baby cobra here, which is a lift of your upper body, or your upward facing dog, which I did before. Tucking your toes, coming through bent knees, lifting up into your downward dog. From here, you're going to lift your left foot up high in the air. You're going to step your left foot through and forward in between your hands. Finding your 45-degree angle of your back foot, engaging your legs first, and then lifting into that warrior one. Again, imagining that light shining forward, all your warrior strength and spirit. Coming down, bringing your fists so nice and strong. And we probably want to just lift and twist our foot, so we've got a bit more mobility here. From there, maybe push your elbows together as well, just to get that strength, feel that light shining out from you. You're going to engage and try and bring your knee all the way up. Stepping back. You're going to engage, bring your knee up, and then back. I'm better on this side, maybe it's just because I've done it once. And then, whoop, she says, spoke too soon. And then back again. Perfect. Find your warrior one feet, so back foot goes to 45 degrees. Inhale your arms up. Exhaling, your hands come down, stepping your front foot to meet your back foot. That nice high plank position. Now I'm going to do a full lowering down here. So engage, my elbows stay in. Now if you can, come to your belly if you want to, and then engage and push up to upward facing dog. Really nice. Check in with your shoulders, pull them back. Tuck your toes, come to downward facing dog. Okay, take a breath. Inhaling your right leg up and high. Stepping your right leg through and forward. Okay, twisting your back foot, engaging your legs, come off any rest here. Inhaling your arms up to find your warrior one. Check in with your shoulders, pull them down. Engage your legs, twist and find your high lunge here. Maybe bring your hands down to the side. This time you're going to come up, bring your knee forward. From there you're going to kick your leg out in front of you. This is where you find your inner ninja. So flare your foot. Okay, brilliant. You're going to step back. Perfect. You're then going to inhale, lift your arms up, find your 45 degrees of your back foot. Exhale your hands down. Step your front foot to meet your back foot. You're going to take your vinyasa. Now what that means when someone says that is you either do your knees, chest, chin, or you lower down in one. So remember, you can do knees, chest, chin, baby cobra, or you can follow me. We're going to come down. If you've got the strength, you can hover, tuck your toes, and push to upward facing dog. And this is something you can practice every time you do these movements. Tucking your toes, coming back to your downward facing dog. Take a moment. Inhale your left leg up and high. Step your left leg through and forward. Engaging your legs, twisting your back foot to find warrior one foot position. Inhaling your arms up. Twist to find that high lunge position. Fists come down. Feel nice and strong. Transfer your weight to find your nice high knee position. And then you're going to extend your leg forward. Okay, perfect. You're going to step that foot back. Find your back footing. Inhale your arms all the way up. Exhale, hands come down. Stepping your foot back. Taking your vinyasa. So remember, you might do knees, chin and chest come down. Right to your belly, engage your legs, push up, inhale,
Tuck your toes, come through bent knees, lift your hips up into the air to find your downward facing dog. Okay, last addition here then. We're going to inhale your right leg up high in the air. Stepping your right leg through and forward just like we've done before. Finding your 45 degrees, engaging your legs, inhaling all the way up. From there, finding your fists at the side, pulling your elbows back together towards each other. Okay, twisting, finding your high lunge there, so you're dropping into it a little bit more. You're going to bring your knee up and high. You're going to then find your inner ninja, kick your leg forward, and then you're going to allow your heel to push backwards, arms come out and forward, and we're finding your warrior 3 position. Really nice, everybody. If you fall out of it, it doesn't matter. Coming in, fists come in, find that nice high knee. Really good. Step back into your warrior. 1 leg's 45 degrees. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, your hands are coming down. Step your front foot to meet your back foot. Push your heels back. Lowering down in whatever way feels good for you right now. Remembering child's pose is always yours. Tucking your toes. Coming into your downward dog. We're going to repeat that on the left hand side. So you're going to inhale, left leg comes up and high. Exhale, step that foot through and forward in between your hands. 45 degrees with your back hand, engage your legs. Inhale, come up to warrior 1. Yellow light shining through and forward. Back foot finds the toes forward, sink down into it, find strength. Find your fists. Okay, you're going to bring your knee up through and forward. Kick that leg in front of you. Up, and then send it back in one movement. Arms come out in front of you to find your warrior 3 today. Perfect. Come back in the way, come back out the way you came in even. Knee comes up. Stepping back to find your warrior 1 legs. Inhale your arms up. Hands are coming down. Stepping your front foot to meet your back foot. Perfect. From here, we're just going to drop our knees wide. You're going to allow your hips to come back towards your heels. Drop your head down to find a moment in child's pose. And hopefully you're finding you're more in touch with that warrior spirit. When you're ready, you lift to a tabletop position, so just adjust your knees as you need to, starfish hands. Tuck your toes and just find your downward facing dog. We're going to finish just with the last warrior flow, showing that we're more than capable just to flow with what is right now. You're going to inhale your right leg up high behind you. Stepping your right leg through and forward just like we've done before. This time, you're going to engage your legs and we're going to come up to a high lunge. So you don't have to twist your back foot this time. Just engage your legs, come up high. Great. From there, what's going to happen is you're just going to engage your legs so your legs come straight, your back foot twists. So this time my toes now are pace facing forward of my back foot, facing to the side of my back foot, and my other toes are forward. My hands are high, my hands come wide, and then I just bend my knee in front of me, and this is known as my warrior 2. So just check your alignment. You might want to twist your hips forward there, and then you always look through that front fingertip, front middle fingertips. It's a really focused position, really strong. Feel your feet into the ground and almost feel like you're lifting every strength up from the ground underneath you. You're going to flip your front palm over so your palm is facing up. You're going to let your back hand lower, and you're just going to find this position here. Drop your front hand forward. It's not going to rest on your knee, it's just coming in front, and then continue to stretch that over. Finding your strong warrior 2. Flip your front hand. We're going to do that one more time. Flow together. So you're going to flow backwards. You hit that position, you're going to flow forwards. Thinking maybe of water. And then come to a nice strong warrior. From there, your hands are going to come. Frame your front foot like you're starting that race again. Step your front foot to meet your back foot. If you've still got enough puff in you, you're going to go through what we call that vinyasa again. If not, just come to your downward facing dog. And be okay with that. Listen to what your body needs. You're going to inhale your left leg up in the air. Stepping your left foot through and forward. I'm actually just going to switch sides so you can see me properly. Okay. From there, you're not twisting your back foot, so you're engaging your legs and coming up to your high warrior, high lunge position, not a warrior. Engage your legs so your legs come straight, your back foot twists, so your toes of your back foot are now forward and your front foot are now straight as they were before. Exhale, find a bend in your front knee, arms nice and strong, looking through your front finger, middle finger. And just try and find maybe a steady breath here. Flip your front palm, exhale, coming to find your reverse warrior here. Let your front arm drop forward with control and finding your extended side angle, looking up if it feels good. Coming to find your warrior two. You're going to find that flow one more time, so palm faces up, back hand drops back, looking up. Front arm comes all the way through, flowing through, coming to find warrior two, taking your hands down, framing your front foot, stepping your front foot back, taking your vinyasa if that feels good, or meeting in downward facing dog. So I'm going to take one final vinyasa. Meeting in your downward facing dog. And then you're just going to drop your knees down, drop down, and just tuck your feet, your hands behind you to find this almost like shell position. Notice your shoulders, just let your shoulders drop around. Maybe think about that square again and try and find that equal square breath. So then you just allow yourself to come back up. So nice and slowly. Before just allowing yourself to come onto your bottom, feet in front of you, hands in front of you, and you're going to allow yourself to lower all the way down. Now we did this last week. Remember, if I was to say stop, you should be able to stop. Then keep yourself going. If I was to say stop, you should be able to stop. And then allow yourself to come all the way down, possibly even untucking your feet. Let yourself have a bit of a wiggle here. Feel your body in the ground. Feel that shift in energy that you've created through your practice. You're going to bring your feet up, so your feet, soles of your feet come up, your knees are now bent. Your palms are face down on the floor. You're going to again find that pelvic tilt and then just allow your hips to keep coming up, 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 up. Or coming on to rest on the tops of your shoulders. And then just coming down with the same control that you just showed going up. And just release there. You're going to do it one more time. Find that activation. Hips come up, 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 up. Hold. And then allow yourself to come all the way down again. From there, just open your legs out again. Take that little wiggle. You're going to bend your left knee up. So you're finding that palm on, that sole of your foot on the floor again. You're then going to bend your right knee up, but this time your ankle is going to come and take a position on your left knee. So you're making a figure of 4. Okay, now we want to activate this figure of 4 stretch. So what's going to happen is you're just going to lift your foot off the floor, and what's happening is that is then pushing towards your foot and your knee is pushing the other way. You should feel a nice stretch. If you want to, you can post your hands through the back of your thigh and just raise your head towards your foot here. But if not, you can just drop back down and find a stretch. Allow your lifted foot to come down. Allow your bent knee to come and find sole of the foot to find position next to the other one. I'm just going to swap over. So this time your right foot stays grounded, your left foot picks up, and your ankle finds the top of your knee. That might be enough for you. If you want to activate it more, we're going to lift that foot off the floor. Remember, you've got 2 forces going against each other. You've got your knee coming this way and this knee going backwards. If you want to, post through and just lift up a bit more. From there, if you've come up, just allow your head to come back. Allow your right foot to ground, your left foot to ground. And then maybe just hug both knees in. Give yourself a really big hug. Bring your head to meet your knees. Maybe dropping back, holding onto your knees and just giving your knees a bit of a circle. Okay, from there you're going to twist over onto one side. So we're going to twist over to our left side. We're going to make this tiny ball position. You're going to put your left hand out in front of you, and then your right hand is going to come and find the top of it. I've just raised my hands up, you can't quite see them, but they should be like that on the floor. You're then going to lift your right arm up, so your right arm comes up, 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 up. You allow it to keep dropping back, and you're going to allow yourself to look over that shoulder. Engage your arm. I have to bend my arm because I haven't got enough space, but hopefully you have. And then just come back, let your hands meet. You're going to open up again, and this time just allow your hand to stay there. If you haven't got enough space like me, just cactus your arm, which basically means you just bend it like that. And look over that shoulder, and you should feel a really nice twist happening in from the middle of your back. And then just bring your arm back in. And you're just going to roll over to the other side. So I'm going to twist around so you can see, but you don't need to. You can just roll to the other side. So I'm now on the other side. I'm nice and tucked up. My hands are on the floor. Again in that kind of prayer position in front of you. This time you're going to lift your left arm all the way up again. If you haven't got space, just cactus your arms. Look over the shoulder. Bring your arm all the way up. Engage, and we're just going to let ourselves drop there and just rest. Coming again, let's find that nice ball position, fetal position. And when you're ready, you're going to slowly push yourself up to a seated position. Okay, so we're just going to finish with a little bit of breathing before we do our final Shavasana position pose, a little bit of relaxation at the end. Well done if you managed to keep up with that. That was parts of that were quite a strong flow, so you don't have to do all of it. Remember, you can always do sections and you can revisit and practice if you want to. So what we're going to do is you're going to, well, hopefully you've all got a hand, okay? So we're going to find your hand, and you're going to start with your finger of your other hand on the top of your thumb. And what I want you to do is, it's a bit like your hand is now a roller coaster and you are the carriage, and you're going to go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, finishing on that last point there. Okay, I'm trying to remember what was it. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of say an affirmation. So an affirmation is something to empower you, something to ground you, something to come back to, some wise words that we can't always hear, but we know we can always stop and find those words. So you're going to come back and say, I, as you go down, will, as you go up, not as you go down, worry as you go up, warrior as you go down, spirit as you go up, deep as you go down, inside as you go up. Okay, so it's going to be, I will not worry, warrior, spirit, deep, inside. Okay, so we're going to do that a few times together. It's basically a way of you then thinking back to this practice, that warrior spirit that you created, that strength that you felt in your body. It's always there. So sometimes when you're having a bit of a wobble, it's good just to come back and remind yourself that you've got this. Okay, so I will not worry, warrior, spirit, deep, inside. Okay, I'm going to do it. I will not worry, warrior, spirit, deep, inside. One last time. I will not worry, warrior, spirit, deep, inside. Okay? This is also really effective for your breath. So rather than the words, or if you're clever, you can do the words and the breath at the same time. But you can inhale as you go down, exhale as you go up, inhale as you go down, exhale as you go up, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Or it might feel better to inhale before you begin, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, and then just exhale to finish. Okay, so that's something that you can always do, and maybe it's something to practice or a bit of self-soothing before you go to sleep. All right, so we're just going to finish with a really short relaxation. So if you find yourself in your Shavasana position, so this is my favourite pose, it's simply where you're just going to allow, you're not going to have to do the belly thing this time, just allow yourself to come down and ground. Allow your feet to flop open, your palms to be upward, up facing up. And remember that you can always take this on your tummy, so you can just roll over, you can just make yourself a pillow. And maybe this is your Shavasana today, that moment for just you. So as you lie there, just feel the mat underneath you, or feel the ground underneath you, whether that's a carpet or tiles. I don't know where you are in your house, but hopefully you're in your house or garden. And we've been enjoying some really nice weather. So maybe, like we did last time, just as you're lying there, just try and imagine the blue sky, the sun high in the sky, shining light on all the new things that we're starting to see in nature, the blossom on the trees, the birds coming back to the gardens. Then you want you to imagine that bright yellow light of the sun in like a pale yellow diamond. And that's going to be drawn all the way into you. And you might just want to now find your two hands just at the bottom of your ribs. You know where we were in Warrior One and we were imagining that light shining from us? Maybe there. If you're lying on the floor, you should be able to feel that spot underneath you. I want you to imagine having that warm yellow light from the sun starting in your body here and slowly making its way, expanding from that place in you, shining this bright yellow light, this determined nature. The light that can show you every time you worry of the warrior inside. So imagining that light, pale yellow, sparkly, making its way through your chest, your stomach, spreading down your legs, your arms, spreading into your feet, to your fingers, your hands, spreading up through your neck and your head, until if you were to see yourself from above, you are just this glowing yellow light, knowing that that warrior spirit is in all of us. You're going to bring your mind back from wherever it may have wandered to. Maybe rolling over onto one side, finding that tucked fetal position, before making your way to a comfortable seated position. You're going to allow your palms to meet, and then you're just going to allow your palms to come apart slightly. You're going to allow your thumbs to meet, thumb to thumb. You're then going to allow your first fingers to meet, first finger to first finger. Then your middle fingers to meet, middle finger to middle finger. Ring finger to ring finger. Little finger to little finger. Allow them to come apart. Then you're going to bring your thumbs together and say I. First fingers together, am. Middle fingers, doing. Ring fingers, my. Little fingers, best. So we're just going to say that a few times together. So hands come apart, thumbs meet. I am doing my best. Hands come apart. I am doing my best. Palms are going to meet. Namaste everybody. Thank you so much for practicing with me this morning. And I really hope that that has helped shift some energy for you and with you this morning. So as part of this, we always offer a well-being tip, and we also offer a challenge. So my well-being tip for you today is to possibly try and create a little area in your house that is just for you. So you might have your own bedroom, you might not, but somewhere that you can put your special things that give you energy or mean something to you. So for example, you can kind of see my little area behind me. So I picked some flowers this morning, just because I bought a bit of outside inside. I have some things that people have given me. So I have like some different stones. This time last year I was in Bali and Australia traveling, which I'm really lucky I did that last year, not this year. And I have different shells and things because I really miss the beach, and so it's a way of bringing that element to me right now. So that's my well-being tip, is to create an area for you. And as part of that, I have got some cards that I sometimes shuffle and pick. So these ones are called Art of Attention, and it's just sometimes a card that I don't know, gives me inspiration for the day or just something to pay attention to. Literally, they're called the Art of Attention. So I'm just going to shuffle these now, and I'm going to pick us one and just see what comes up for us. It's a bit silly. I don't know if it's not silly. I shouldn't say it's silly, but it's just something that I find makes a real difference to me. It's a focus for my day and makes me think about something that maybe I wouldn't do. Takes me out of my normal feelings. I just notice, I suppose, which I think is a good thing. So I've got these all in front of me. I'm just going to pick one. This one. Ooh. So the card says transformation. So I think that's interesting. We're going through a period of transformation at the moment. And it says, through transformation, your spirit is love. So I
we can do everything at the moment as we're all going through this period of transformation with kindness and love. I think we'd all be doing a really good job. So that's my little well-being tip for you. And then our challenge is, we talked a little bit about things changing all the time. And if you did my class last Tuesday, it was the well-being tip was all about sunflowers, and planted some sunflower seeds, and this is what's happened. They've all sprouted and started growing, so they're nearly ready to repot when they get a little bit stronger. So our challenge for you is to help out with some gardening. You might know lots about gardening, you might know nothing about gardening, but I shouldn't really say this, but older people tend to know quite a lot about gardening, and it's actually really interesting to learn from them, and it's amazing to watch things grow and watch things change, because this feels at the moment like it will go on forever, but it won't. Things change all the time, and it's really good to check in with those changes. So if you've got a garden, amazing. If you haven't, I know that's more tricky, but maybe look at, this is just grown in a mug, so maybe look at what you can grow inside from seeds, or a way of bringing the outside inside with some fresh flowers. Again, I know that's a bit tricky at the moment, but try and get creative in how you accept that challenge. It's been lovely practicing with you today. Again, love to hear what you're up to and what you're doing. Share the video, share to somebody who you think might enjoy it or might help them, and keep doing the Zen challenges. Okay, speak soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.